papers on your projects, your reflection paper. I don't know how you can turn it in until you have presented, because one of the questions on there is how did the project go? So, if you wing that, I'll probably be able to tell. Now, so for most of you, that would be turning it in no later than finals day. Okay?
So next Friday.
Whenever your final is, and I don't
Next
believe
Friday.
next Friday is not.
Yes,
This class.
we're the last day, 8 and 9. And because 6 and 7 is Thursday, 5 is Monday.
5 is this
It's four,
for the
it's 4
senior.
1 on Wednesday.
This is
and
Friday?
5 Monday.
Okay,
4 and 1.
okay.
Yeah,
I was
four,
thinking,
the 5 and
Wait,
5
that's
is on
online.
Monday.
5 on Monday is 1, 2, Tuesday, 3, 4.
We can pre-present
Okay.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, May 23rd. We present next week to the vote.
no.
That's it.
All right, next, I want you to open up your books because we need to go to active and passive voice. And that is on page, how did I lose my slide? Page 245, active and passive voice. I'm going to explain it, but it's not going to mean much. It's just going to sound like blah, blah, blah until you start on the worksheets and on the activities. So, this is how active and passive voice works. First, find the verb. And then you ask yourself, who is doing the action of the verb? If the action is being done by the subject, it's active voice. If it's not being done by the subject, it's passive voice. And that's what it says right there on the bottom of page 245. Look at the example on page 246. It says active voice in caps there. And it says the blazing fire destroyed the outside walls. Well, the verb is destroyed. What was doing that action? It's the fire. So that one is active voice. If I said the walls were destroyed by the fire, that's passive, because the walls are not doing the destroying. The other clue is that typically for passive voice, there will be the to be verb as a helping verb. It's not always that way, but the majority of time it is. So if you see is, was, were, that one, chances are you need to take a closer look to see if it's active or passive. We always write, or we usually write, in active voice. If you're writing a technical paper, sometimes it will be in passive, but almost always otherwise it's in active voice. So now, go to page 15.
15.
I'm sorry, 248. Exercise 15. And you are doing, I suppose I should not have erased this. First, you have to determine if it's active or passive. I'm sorry, no you don't. First, look at the verb. Identify the verb. Then, where's the subject? Is the subject doing the verb? Now, I am assuming most of you have done this in middle school. If the subject is doing what the verb is describing, it's active. If your sentence is passive, you need to make it active.
Oh yeah, we should.
Yeah. So look at the first one. And again, you're gonna do this either in notability or on scrap paper, I do not care. The paintings of Lucia Wilcox are admired by many artists around the world. First, I would suggest you take out the prepositional phrases. So you end up with, the paintings are admired around the world. Who is doing the admiring?
Are you?
Paintings.
Yeah, it's artists around the world, or is doing the admiring. So this sentence is passive, you need to make it active. An active would be, artists around the world admire the paintings. Following that? All right, go ahead and do the remaining ones. Homework is, for tomorrow, 2:36.
You get on the
Folks,